Doctor Who The Key to Time Story 5 The Power of Kroll, the 28th story of the 4th Doctor, is written by Robert Holmes and starring Tom Baker and Mary Tam. While Anthony Reid asked Robert Holmes there were two requirements, that it includes the largest monster in series history, and that Holmes minimised the humour that many scripts from the era were known for. The second requirement was a request from higher up at the BBC. The title was originally called Shield of Time, Moon of Death and Horror of the Swamp. The story shot at Snape, not that Snape, there we go, Suffolk, around the river, Aldi from Monday 18th of September 1978. This is Norman Stewart's final work on the show. Graham Williams, the producer, was ill at the time, so his job was covered by Anthony Reid and John Nathan Turner as the production unit manager, assisted by Blake 7 producer David Maloney. Also, K9 isn't in the story because the prop wouldn't work on swampy grounds, but John Leeson is in this story as a different character, which is cool. So the story sets in Delta, the 3rd in 51st century. The Doctor and Romana arrive to search for the 5th segment of The Key to Time. I love Romana's line, "Doctor, sometimes I don't think you're quite right in the head." Brilliant. Romana split it up from the Doctor. After a while the Doctor gets shot by Fenner and Thorne, but it was actually his hat that got shot. So the Doctor gets taken away. Meanwhile, as Romana gets tied up, she's confronted by Rom Dutt. Meanwhile, Thorne and Fenner are surprised by how much the Doctor knows about the refinery.
What's that?
It's an air vent.
Look at that!
It's a funicular gas separator. Well, it looks to me like a primitive enzyme recycler.
A plasmid catalyst.
Yeah, why not?
But that's brilliant!
Mensch was the only Swampy who worked as a servant at the methane, the rest of his race believed to be savages. So while the Doctor sneaks to find Romana, she's getting sacrificed while the Swampy are calling for Kroll, a creature that they worship like a god. A claw reaching for Romana is pretty scary. Luckily the Doctor came to the rescue, and it was a Swampy wearing a costume. Dugeen has detected a huge creature. Doctor and Romana have found a book of the real Kroll saying the enormous creature ate a previous Swampy high priest and has made 3 appearances. A 4th is due soon. A giant Kroll rose up. The effects on it is well done for low budget series. What was so funny is when the Doctor tells Romana to introduce themselves and not to exaggerate, but the Swampies were kidnapping them along with Rom Dutt, and Romana exaggerated. The bit where Kroll's tentacle broke into refinery and ate a crew hog is pretty effective. It gave me a jump scare. Tom Baker, as always, brilliant as the 4th Doctor. I like him a lot. Again, I think Mary Tam is great as Romana 1. John Leeson plays Dugeen, who's a member of the Sons of Earth, sent undercover to sabotage the methane refinery on Delta the 3rd. I think he's great. Originally, Dugeen was to be played by Martin Jarvis, but he was unavailable. Michael Sheard was also offered the role, so in the end, Leeson took it. Neil McCarthy plays Thorne, who's in charge of the methane refinery on Delta the 3rd, and a villain. He's so good in this. George Baker was considered for the role. Glenn Owen plays Rom Dutt, a gun smuggler. I like the character. Philip Maddock and Graham Mallard plays Fenner and Hogg, crew member of the methane refinery. They're great. John Abineri plays Ranquin, the leader of the Swampies. He did a great job. Carl Rigg plays Varlic, who's a Swampy chief. Terry Walsh plays Mensch, a methane refinery servant. There's great casting, the sets and effects is well done. Norman Stewart and Robert Holmes does a great job at directing and writing. The music by Dudley Simpson, as always, fantastic. So the Doctor, Romana and Rom Dutt got tied up with those vines. And it's pretty amusing when all the Doctor can talk about at the moment is the architect, and Romana reminding him that they're gonna die. Fenner, Thorne and Dugeen's top priority is to kill the creature. The Doctor uses vocal vibration to break glass.
Piece.
As the ring goes in, he managed to set himself, Romana and Rom Dutt free, then got out. So as Swampy finds out, Rom Dutt gets grabbed by a tentacle and got taken away due to movement. Well, it's by a vibration. As the Doctor and Romana paddled on the boat, Swampy Tribes gets attacked. What a cliffhanger. The Doctor and Romana got away. There's Kroll creature attacking. Thorne's evil plan has revealed to control the missile to destroy Kroll with the entire Swampies, and that shocked Dugeen and Fenner. When Dugeen tried to stop him, Thorne killed him, so Fenner had to do as he says. The Doctor and Romana snuck in. The Doctor went in the pipe and damaged the machine to stop the countdown, so Thorne held the Doctor and Romana at gunpoint. Luckily the Swampies came to rescue and impales Thorne. While Ranquin gets taken away by Kroll, the Doctor figured out that the Kroll has been magnified to giant proportions by the 5th segment of the Key to Time. After retrieving it, everything's okay, refinery is safe. Fenner got advised to use his time wisely until a rescue mission arrives from Delta Magna and tried to understand the Swampy culture. So the Doctor and Romana went back to the TARDIS and disappeared away. This is a fantastic story. What did you think of The Power of Kroll? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and 1 to go, which will be the Armageddon Factor.